Hello students, welcome you all to my channel. You all know that the tagline of my channel is not just pass, but pass with distinction. Students, to pass with distinction, you need 3 Ds, which will help you to achieve 4th D. Now what is this D? 3D refers to dedication, determination and discipline. If you follow this, then the 4th D, that is the dream you dreamt, will automatically be achieved. With 3 Ds plus my guidance will help you ensure that you achieve your 4D. With this tagline and with our 3 Ds, I, Alamugarthi Neeraj Kumar, presenting yet another video. If you have not subscribed my channel, please subscribe and click on the bell icon to get notification of my new videos that I upload. Today, in this video, I am going to explain 1.5 Joan of Arc by George Bernard Shaw. Before getting into the lesson, I will brief you about the author. The author of this play is George Bernard Shaw. He was born on 26 July 1856, Dublin, Ireland. He died on November 2, 1950. He was an Irish comic dramatist, literary critic and socialist propagandist. He was the winner of Nobel Prize for Literature in 1925. He wrote more than 60 plays during his lifetime. The famous ones are Man and Superman, Pygmalion, and Saint John. Let us see the background of the play. The war fought between England and France from 1337 to 1453 has come to be known as the 100 Years' War. This play begins at the time when all of northern France and some parts of southwest were under foreign control. English controlled some parts and Burgundian controlled others. The city of New Orleans, one of the few remaining French cities, was held by English. Joan was a peasant girl born in eastern France who led French army to several victories during this war. The year is 1429. Captain Robert de Baudricourt, a military officer, is seated at the table, his steward facing him.
I told you to throw the girl out. You have 50 armed soldiers and dozens of strong servants to carry out my orders. Are they afraid of her?
No, sir, we are afraid of you, but she puts courage in us. She really doesn't seem to be afraid of anything. Perhaps you could frighten her, sir.
Perhaps. Where is she now?
Down in the courtyard, sir.
Robert goes to the window and asks the soldiers to send the girl up. The girl enters. She is a well-built, strong country girl of 17 to 18 years. The square's glare neither frightens her nor stops her, and she speaks very confidently. Good morning, Captain Square. You are to give a horse and armor and some soldiers and send me to the Dauphin.
The girl is mad. Why didn't you tell me so, blockhead?
Sir, do not anger her. Give her what she wants.
I shall send you back to your father with orders to put you under lock and key.
You think you will square? But it won't happen that way. You said you would not see me, but here I am.
So you're assuming that I will give you what you want?
Yes, Square. A horse will cost 16 francs. It's a big amount of money, but I can save it on the armor. I don't need beautiful armor made to my measure. I can find a soldier's armor that will fit me well enough. I shall not want many soldiers. The Dauphin will give me all I need to free Orleans.
To free Orleans?
Esquire, 3 men will be enough for you to send with me. Polly and Jack have promised to come with me.
You mean Monsieur de Polongi?
Yes, Squire, Jack will come willingly. He is a very kind gentleman and gives me money to give to the poor. I think John Godse will come and Dick the archer and their servants, John of Horncourt and Julian. There will be no trouble for you, Squire. I have arranged it all. You have only to give the order.
Is this true about Monsieur de Polongi?
Yes, sir. And about Monsieur de Metz too. They both want to go with her.
Robert goes to the window and shouts into the courtyard.
Send Monsieur de Polongi to me, will you?
He turns to John and says,
Get out and wait in the yard.
Right, Square. He turns to the steward.
Go with her, stay within call, and keep your eye on her. I shall have her up again.
Bertrand de Poulengy, a French guard, enters, salutes, and stands waiting.
She says you, Jack, and Dick have offered to go with her. What for? You take her crazy idea to go to Dauphin seriously? There is something about her. It may be worth trying. Oh, come on, Polly. You must be out of your mind. What is wrong with it? Dauphin is in Kynan, like a rat in a corner, except that he won't fight. The English will take Orleans. He will not be able to stop them. He beat the English the year before last at Montargis. I was with him. But his men were cowed, and now he can't work the miracles. And I tell you that nothing can save our side now but a miracle. Miracles are all right, Polly. The only difficulty about them is that they don't happen nowadays. I used to think so. I'm not sure now. There is something about her. I think the girl it's herself is a bit of miracle. Anyhow, this is our last chance. Let's see what she can do. You really think that? Is there anything else left for us to think? Let's take a chance. Her words have put fire in me. Phew! You are as mad as she is. We want a few mad people now. See where the same ones have landed us. I feel like a fool. Still, if you feel sure, I feel sure enough to take her to Kynan unless you stop me. Do you think I ought to have another talk with her?
Going to the window, Poulengy calls,
Yes, John, come up now.
John enters.
Be seated, John. What is your name?
They always called me Jenny in Lorraine. Here in France, I am John. The soldiers call me Maid.
How old are you?
17, so they tell me. It might be 19. I don't remember.
Do you think raising a siege is as easy as chasing a cow out of the meadow? You think soldiering is anybody's job?
I don't think it can be difficult if God is on our side.
Have you ever seen English soldiers fighting? Have you ever seen them plundering, burning, turning the countryside into a desert? Have you heard no tales of their prince, who is the devil himself, or of the English king's father?
You do not understand, Square. Our soldiers are always beaten because they are fighting only to save their skins. And the shortest way to save your skin is to run away. But I will teach them all to fight for France. Then they will drive the soldiers before them like sheep. You and Polly will live to see the day when there will not be a single English soldier on the soil of France. Robert to Pollingue.
This all may be nonsense, Polly, but the troops might be inspired by it, though. Nothing that we say seems to put any fire into them. Even the Dauphin might believe it, and if she can put some fight into him, she can put it into anybody.
Robert to John.
Now you listen to me and don't cut in before I have time to think. Your orders are that you are to go to Kynan under the escort of this gentleman and 3 of his friends.
John clasping her hands. Oh, thank you, Square.
How is she to get into the royal presence? I don't know. How did she get into my presence? I will send her to Kynan and she can say I sent her. Then let come what may, I can do no more.
And the dress? I may have a soldier's dress, Square.
Take what you please. I wash my hands of it.
Excitedly, John says, Come, Polly.
Goodbye, old man. I am taking a big chance. Few other men would have done it, but as you say, there is something about her. Yes, there is something about her. Goodbye.
Hope you understood and enjoyed the play. Thank you for watching this video patiently. Do not forget to like the video, share it and subscribe my channel. Thank you.